Come on, BTC.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. It's 11 a.m. Central European time on the last day of September. We are one day away from Pump September, and everything in the world will be great. Or will it? Well, we're going to go through that today. 30th of September, the last day of September, the last day of potentially the worst month we're going to see for some time, because we think October, November and December are going to move us higher, and we know that because all of the old influencers are crawling out of the woodwork and telling you to buy Aero, telling you to buy Whiff and Bonk, telling you to buy Brett and other such coins. So you know the bull run is near when they are telling you to buy these coins we've been telling you to buy for about the last 6 months. We have a busy show today. We're going to go through Bitcoin gains. We're going to go through the token FTT. And I'm going to give you a warning about that token. We're going to go through the $10,000 ETH that I have targeted and other people are now targeting. They can probably see what I can see in the charts. We're going to go over the October unlocks. There's a fairly sizable chunk of crypto being unlocked in October. So we're going to look at the month of October, not just this week. We are then going to look at the chain fees. Now, I make a point of talking about this every once in a while. How much does a blockchain make? The more a blockchain makes, the more it can develop, build, do all those sexy things that you like, and also the projects on those coins, what can they build? So we're going to go through chain fees, and then what we're also going to do is we're going to go to the advanced chain fee analysis. I'm going to show you how to pick coins from chains and what to look for. Obviously, it's called Do Your Own Research because it's you doing your research, not me. I'm just showing you where you can go. And then at the end, October picks another 3 coins picked by the so-called experts that you need to buy. All of that in 1 hour. If you are new here, you know what you need to do. Smash the like button, say hello in chat, and give us a follow. 172,000 followers. We are 28,000 away from 200,000. And by my reckoning, that's 7,300 followers a month. What's that? 250 a day we need to do from now on until the end of the year to get to 200,000. And that would be a major achievement for us. A few good mornings then. Hidden is in chat. Mags, Chris, Danny are all in chat. Don't forget, tomorrow night we have our Chronos night number 2. We had our first Chronos night maybe about 6 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago. We're having the second one tomorrow night, and we will be giving away 4 tokens. Not 1, not 2, 4 different tokens. So if you want to take part in that, we will be streaming tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central European Time. And also don't forget, we stream at 11 a.m. nearly every day. I think I'm going to have Wednesday off this week because it is my birthday. So Wednesday, I will probably not be streaming. Good morning, Eugene. Welcome back. Welcome to the show. As you can probably see on the screen, Bitcoin is starting to come down a little bit, and that's to be expected. This week, 2 semi-important things are happening. Chairman Powell is speaking today. He will be giving us his opinions on the market. And then tomorrow, I believe we are getting the unemployment data. Now, this is going to be interesting. It can be on target, or it can be a little bit higher than expected, and we're all good. It can be a lot worse than we expect, and then potentially Bitcoin will move even further down. But the title of the show is Bitcoin is going where? And I'm going to give you some targets for Bitcoin, which will hopefully make you sleep well tonight. Remember, we're in September. It's not the end of the world. We're we're a year away from the end of the bull run. Whether we're at 60, 64, even 58,000, it doesn't matter. Now, obviously going into next year, we want to be a little bit higher than where we are now. But again, 64,000 in October 2024. If you'd have offered that to us in October 2023, when we were at $20,000, you would have taken my hand off. So we are a 3x up on where we were 12 months ago. Okay? It creeps up on you, you don't expect it, and then it happens. So we're going to go through the charts. What are we then? 64,170 for Bitcoin, down 2%. Ethereum isn't down as much, 2,640. Tether, the most useless investment ever, is at $1. BNB is below 600. Solana holding 156. XRP is at 65 cents. Now, XRP, I don't think we're covering today. Just be careful. October the 6th, October the 7th is the day that the XRP case could close. It could also be the day that the SEC appeal. If they appeal, the XRP bull run is over. That's it. That doesn't mean it's not going to go up over $1, maybe $1.50, maybe $2. I don't mean that. What I mean is it's over for this bull run. It's going to take out another bull run. We're going to have to go to 2029 because this court case, if the appeal goes through, it won't happen till next year. So let's say it happens in May, April next year, and let's say it gets dragged on again to September, October next year. Are you telling me that XRP is going to be at $7 or $8 at the peak of the bull run when it's had a court case for the last 12 months? So October the 7th or 8th is absolutely critical for XRP. And I think this is people front running a positive outcome and the SEC not appealing. And believe you me, I don't want them to appeal. I have a bag of XRP. It's in my $15,000 portfolio. I bought XRP. I don't know what I paid, 30, 35 cents, whatever it might be. I don't want an appeal. But if it does happen, we have to prepare for the worst. Let's see where we are now. What's Eugene saying? Ports may be shut down tomorrow on the East Coast and Gulf of Mexico. Yes. There was a lot of people talking about a black swan happening. And this storm that we have seen is what the worst on record. I've seen 8-foot high rivers running down streets. I've seen people's houses getting washed away. It's horrific. I hope everybody, if anybody is listening from those areas in America, I hope you are safe and well. Now, we are going to talk about the FTT token after Bitcoin. Very quickly, off the bat, don't buy that token. It's not associated with any operational blockchain or any any operational exchange. Don't buy that token. Mina is up 12, Ethene at 12, Potenza 10, Conflux 8, Neo 8. Good gainers. Sui at 176. All-time high is what, $2.20? I've made a video about Sui a year ago, maybe even more than a year ago. I'm a big fan of Sui. I bought Sui at the time. But be careful that you don't start listening to these influencers telling you that Sui is going to go to $20. Sui at $20 would give it a $47 billion market cap, which would put it on today's prices above XRP. For me, Sui is going to have a great bull run, but please don't listen to these so-called experts. Where have they been for a year? They've been sunning themselves on a beach, and now they're going to come and tell you to buy Sui as it's approaching its all-time high. Be careful on all advice that you get on the internet. Phantom is doing really well. Stellar, XRP is up. Injective. Some good gainers. What is on the downside? SHIB, Floki, Doge, a couple of meme coins down here. Pepe, Thor, Ondo, 78 cents, and it's down 3 cents. It's not bad. ICP, just under $10. BNB, Chainlink. Again, solid projects retracing. Near, Chainlink, BNB, ICP, Ondo. Solid projects down there. You want a retracement to pick up some dollar cost average into these coins. Now's the time. We're going to go and talk about Bitcoin in a minute once we get through the X-Files, and there's a lot to talk about today. One other thing I haven't even mentioned is, for those of you that like Base, I'm going to be reviewing a project today called Lunar Lens. It is a project on the Base blockchain. It's brand new, and I am going to be looking at it probably in about 2 hours from now. I'll be live streaming that. So Lunar Lens is something I'm going to be looking at. But first of all, let's get through the X-Files. We have the Monday charts to look at as well. We're going to look at the DXY. We're going to look at the CME gap. Remember, the CME gap is always in play. We can wick down, but the CME gap has to close. The dock workers are going on strike. Okay. I thought it was something to do with the storm. Was it Storm Helena? Can never remember the name. Right, let's have a look. Indeed, smash the like button. We never get as many likes as I think we should. 14 years ago, you could get one Bitcoin for 25 cents. If you knew that now, or if you knew then what you know now, how many Bitcoin would you have bought? I think I would have bought 10,000. 10,000 Bitcoin I would have bought at that price. and I would have held on for them for dear life. Now then, again, this is a running theme with the degens and the conspiracy theorists and the people with tinfoil hats. Isn't it funny how the number go up ever since BlackRock amended their custody agreement with Coinbase? Bloomberg, TradFi, I think that's supposed to say TradFi bros, will say it's just a coincidence. Again, the custodian doesn't determine the flows, correct? The end investors do. Fidelity saw inflows too, and they don't use this place. BlackRock, the ETFs, saving your bags. Again, one thing to bear in mind, BlackRock and these ETFs are the reason we're at 64,000. Let's not forget that. It's all well and good not wanting traditional finance to come in. We're not going to go anywhere without traditional finance. This is the point. You have your exchange that you're on now. You have your non-custodial wallet. You have your ledger. You have your Trezor. You are not the people that are going to get Bitcoin to $100, $200, $500,000. You're not. You're the early adopters. Maybe one day on one of the streams, maybe I'll do it tomorrow, I'm going to show you the bell curve, okay? And the bell curve shows you where you are in the cycle of adoption. Right, let me make a note, okay? What you see in the world is not what the majority of people see. You are front-running the fourth industrial revolution or the fifth industrial revolution, whatever you want to call it. So people saying we don't need TradFi, we don't need the ETFs, we don't need BlackRock. Well, like it or not, they're here. And they're here because you got Bitcoin to $20,000, $40,000, $60,000. They wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. You have led them to Bitcoin and crypto by buying your bags 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago and keeping crypto alive. Now they're here, you're complaining. Why? It doesn't affect you. The ETFs buy Bitcoin. You can go onto your exchange right now and buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. So why are you bothered? You shouldn't be. They're not going to dump 500,000 Bitcoin on the market in one day. That's not how this works anymore. Okay? We don't have one individual that holds 300,000 Bitcoin that can move the market. We have BlackRock, we have Fidelity, we have ARK Invest. These are sensible companies. Whether you agree with their morals or not is a different matter, but they're sensible companies. We've had 7 consecutive days of Bitcoin purchases. Now, this always has a kind of an end where we will have 7, 10, 12 days of continual buys, and then we will have 1 or 2 days of selling pressure. And that's likely to happen. That is likely to happen. Maybe this week, maybe we're going to open and we're going to dump because of what Chairman Powell says. Maybe it's going to dump because of the unemployment data that comes out tomorrow. Close above 65,000 confirms a higher high on the weekly time frame. Again, not for me, not for me. I do not think, we're going to have a look at that in a minute. I don't think we have put in a higher high because my version of a higher high is not the same. So it's important. Different people have got different opinions. That's why I include these. The world is cruel but also beautiful. Do not forget that we are sponsored by Mew. You'll see it on the screen there. Mew meme sponsored. We are sponsored by them. Don't forget my 3 meme picks for the bull run. Mew, Popcat and Brett. Why? Because they are all of a size where they have the opportunity to pump 10 to 20x. That doesn't mean they will, but they have the potential. Anything that's a 1 or 2 or 3 billion dollar market cap isn't going to 10 or 20x in the bull run. So the likes of Pepe, the likes of SHIB, the likes of Doge, they're not going to do a 20x or a 10x in this bull run. Now then, very quickly, don't need to focus on this too much. CZ is out. He is going to have some time to himself, as far as I'm aware. He's going to have a bit of a break. He's going to eat some nice food. He's going to relax. So, good news. I mentioned that he was going to be released. Now, because his release date fell over the weekend. He got out 2 days early. That's how it works. Who knows why? Right then, moving very swiftly on, a couple of things to look at. The DXY, we had our line and we broke it. And we are struggling to get back above it. It looks like we're going to break down on the DXY. It looks like we're going to come down to this next line down, which is 99.64. That's the next leg down for the DXY. Now, why is that important? A weak dollar helps Bitcoin. Let's just draw that down there like that. Maybe like that. So what we want to see, hopefully, over the next few days is something like that. And then maybe a small bounce here. So we're breaking down. We've broken below 100.57. We're down to 100.26. If we break 100 and go to 99.64, that's a good move for Bitcoin. That's going to help. Okay, it's only one element, but it's going to help. It's going to help Bitcoin move, hopefully, past my target of 67, 68,000. Now then, moving very swiftly on. Don't want to spend too long on this. We've got a lot to get through today. The Bitcoin CME, the gap is what you tend to see on the CME is you tend to see these types of gaps. These are gaps in the price. Let's see if there's another one there. These are the gaps in price. Now, what you tend to find is you tend to see them fill. Okay, so when there is a gap, it fills. Now, the market is open. I didn't manage to catch it, but the CME gap is a lot higher than that. I think the CME gap is 66. So I would expect that to fill. I mean, you see these huge ones. They do tend to fill a lot more than the tiny ones. There are little tiny CME gaps here. These are the futures. So this is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange or something like that. They close on a Friday at 5 p.m. They open on a Monday morning. So that 2-day period on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is 24/7, Bitcoin can move over a weekend. So if the CME closes at 65,000 and we open at 66.5, for example, there is a very, very good chance, a 90% chance that we're going to come down to 65 to fill the gap because there's open orders there. So that's why we look at the CME gap from time to time. Now, we look at it on a Monday. Unfortunately, by the time we get to look at it on a Monday, the market is open, but it was closed when I checked this morning, and I think it was at 66.14. So at some point, we're going to fill that, but we knew that anyway. We know that anyway. Now then, very quickly, 24-hour liquidations in the market. We've only got 157 million of liquidations, $111 million of longs, and only $46 million of shorts. Again, not an awful lot. We've looked at this chart before. It's been 500 or 600 million. I mean, this isn't an awful lot. So I'm not too worried about the price action at the minute. We are going to look at that next. We're going to look at Bitcoin, and then we're going to look at the Bitcoin chart, and then we're going to move on and look at the rest of the show. It's quite a technical show today. There's a lot of data to digest. I'm going to try my hardest to explain it in as easiest terms as possible. So Bitcoin price eyes 11% monthly gains as the DXY threatens major plunge. As I've shown you just then, it's broken below the 100.56, so it's coming down. Bitcoin may clinch the best September in history if bulls can protect the price support, and clearly they haven't. It's the last day. We were at 66. We're now at 63.9. So we haven't held it, but that's not a problem. Bitcoin preserved the key 65,000 support on September 29th, which we haven't done. Data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradingView showed what one popular trader called usual weekend price action. Having set new 2 monthly highs of 66.5, Bitcoin has consolidated. So far, price didn't deviate more than 1% above or below the Friday close price. Dan Crypto Trades said, would expect some more volatility later in the day and, of course, when futures open back up tonight. And he has, of course, absolutely nailed it, hasn't he? Because we have seen Bitcoin come down to 64. Now then, we've seen this 11% gain. Everybody's going on. This is the greatest September in history. But guess what? I guarantee you that if we continue on this trajectory, it will not end up being the best September in history. And the likelihood is we're probably going to come down to somewhere in the region of a 5%, 6% gain for the month. But again, it's not a problem. Look at October, okay? Don't worry that we're at 63.9. Why does that matter? Look at October. If we hold a good, solid October, and let's say the average is 22.9%, let's just take that down to 20%. That puts us at $74,000, which, as I've said, is my Darren Brown moment in the bottom right-hand corner. You can clearly see $74,000. There you go. That is where we're going to be at the end of October if everything plays out. Now, look at November, another really positive month. Give me 1 second. A really positive month as well to follow October. Again, October's had 2 red months, November's had 4 red months, December's had 6. So the likelihood is we're going to have a superb October, a decent November. Maybe we'll forget the average of 4 to 6%. Let's say we get an average of 5. 5% on top of 74,000 is going to take us to what? 77, 78,000. And if we get an average of 1 or 2% for December, that could bring us in somewhere near 80. I think the Oracle's got 84,000 for December. I am obviously Mr. Pessimist. I think if we can get to December around 80,000, I'd be incredibly happy. That is about nearly 25% from where we are today, 28% from where we are today. I'd be happy with that. So let's not worry too much about 63, 64, 65,000. So now all that matters is whether the bulls can keep the momentum going and actually see follow through for the last quarter, October, November, December. Now, I think what we need to do is go and have a look at the chart, and I can give you what I think are the prices we need to hold. Because there's a couple of things which I've been saying for some time we need to look at. Now, let's get in here. So my target, let's get rid of these. You have seen us move into this area in March. It's the end of September. March, April, May, June, July, August, September. We've had 7 months of purgatory. Okay? Now, everybody called this a lower high based on this and this and this and these two up here, right? I did not believe that that was a lower high. I think we only came up to here because we wicked so far down. So I ignored it. So my target has always been 68,000. That's my target. We are not putting in a higher high until 68,000. And I am not a technical analyst even. Analysis? Technical analyst. I'm not. But I can follow a straight line. Okay? I can follow a straight line, and a straight line does not deviate like that. Okay? So much as everybody was having the hopium about this being a higher high, I never said that on here. You can go back and look at probably Friday's stream. So we need to get to 68,000. We're not there, and we're retracing. We're back at 64,000 again. Why are we worried? So where could we go? There are a few prices we could come to. We could come to 61,000. That's the bottom of the bull market support band. We could come to the top, which is, let's just make sure, that's 62.8. Okay, where are we? We're at 64. 62.8 is no way away. Okay, now why is that so important? Because we always talk about testing the bull market support band. Okay, look at what happened up here. We tested it, we bounced, we got rejected, and we tanked. We didn't even hold it there. Okay, so what do we need to do? I even said last week, look at that, we've held it for so long and we're going to move up. Now what do we need to do? We need to test it again and hopefully move up. The bull market support band is there to support us. For the new people in the room, if you are below the bull market support band, it acts like being trapped under a sheet of ice. Think of Omen. Remember Omen, the film, where the little kid is under the sheet of ice and they can't break it and they can't break it and they can't break it? That's what it's like. You're trapped, you're stuck. We have fought tooth and nail from August the 26th to September the 19th. 4 weeks, we tried. Okay, we got nowhere near it. We bounced off and we broke through. Now what we need to do is hold the damn thing. We need to bounce up in that direction. So the best move today for me is 62.8. Hold it and bounce. That's my move, okay? If we go below the bull market support band, let's say that tomorrow the jobs data comes in and it's pretty hawkish, okay? We come down to 61,000. That's the bottom of the bull market support band. So we wick like this. And we do that, okay? They're my two targets. Now, do I know this is going to happen? Absolutely not. This is what I would like to see happen. There's two totally different things. I'm not going to tell you we're going to be at 100,000 by the end of October because I don't think that's going to happen. Would I like it to happen? Absolutely. I'd also like us to bounce off 62.8, which is only $1,100 away. So that's what I think is going to happen. And until we break this line, okay, then this is the happy face, okay? All down here, this is the sad face, okay? Until we break and put in a higher high of 68,000, we are not off to the races, as Ben Cowan would say. We are not off to the moon, as every DJ on X would say. We are still trapped in purgatory. And that purgatory only ends at 68,000. So that's where we are with Bitcoin. We want to see a bounce. The Oracle is going to be speaking tonight, hopefully. And if he's not, don't worry about it. We are streaming tomorrow night as well. So there is a good chance that he will take that off. Right then. Damien, indeed. Eugene, indeed. Right then. So for fans of Damien, moving on to Sam Bankman-Fried, who I think could play an old Damien. Okay. FTT coin is pumping. Now, again, let me just remind you of something. There was an exchange that went bust that Sam Bankman-Fried was the founder of, and Caroline Ellison, who's also going to go to prison, although she's only got 2 or 3 years. And there was a token associated with that, which is FTT. It's gone up 93% in the last 24 hours, a jump of 2,263%. Why is it pumping? Now, there is a payout going to happen, which I believe is about, is it 11 or 17 billion? Something ridiculous like that, which is going to be paid out. And that's going to be paid out to basically the people who lost their money when this exchange crashed. So they're getting the money back. What do you think people are going to do when they get all this money back? Of course, they're going to go and buy Bitcoin with it, aren't they? So this is like another artificial pump of Bitcoin. Now, getting their money back from a defunct exchange does not mean that FTT has any value. It's an exchange token for an exchange that no longer exists and hasn't existed for 2 years. Well, 23 months, 22 months, whatever you want to say. So why are you buying this token? Why is there somebody doing TA on this token? There is no official confirmation from initial team concerning this claim. Many investors are unsure about the authenticity of this claim. If the news proves to be a hoax, consider it to be a market correction. Again, please do me a favor. Don't buy this token. Okay? It's like buying a season ticket to a football club that doesn't exist. It's like buying a season ticket to a cinema which is closed down. Great, you've got a season ticket to go and watch as many films as you want, but the cinema's not open. The football team isn't going to turn up. They're not even in a league. Why are you buying a token associated with an exchange that doesn't exist? It makes no sense. There are plenty of exchanges out there with their own token which are going to do exceptionally well in this bull run because the exchanges will do exceptionally well. But not in the case of FTT token. It's an absolute shark token. And I'm going to show you very quickly the price action because I want you to see the absolute, I don't know what the word you want to use is. There's no reason to hold this token. If we go to the weekly chart, okay, let's just very quickly show you what happened with this. Okay, so just bear with me because this is going to take an awful lot of mouse scrolling to show you. Actually, no, we're not going to bother. Okay, this was the collapse. November 2022. It went from $25 all the way down to $1.50. The exchange collapsed. Then there was a rumor that the exchange was going to recover. And it did that. Okay? The exchange was never going to be recovered. They were going to call it, I don't know, FTX2 or something like that. So that was hopium. And everybody that bought at 94 cents, I hope they sold at $5.92 and made a fortune out of it. And now we've done nothing but this. Now the question has to be, why is this token worth anything at all? Why is this token worth anything? Why has there been $229 million of trading on this token? Okay, it's like voting for Kamala. Well, I didn't say that, Eugene, you did. So, do me a favor, don't buy this token. That's not financial advice, but it's absolute folly. It is folly to buy a token that is for an exchange that does not exist. Okay? It's rubbish. If you want to short it, by all means short it. If you want to long it, by all means long it. If you want to buy it, by all means buy it. My advice is very simple. Why are you buying something associated with an exchange that doesn't exist? Moving on. Actually, you know what? We're not doing too bad. Hang on, this isn't the right article. This is the next one. We're on to ETH next, not the October unlocks. Now, again, I said probably towards the end of last year that if we get an Ethereum ETF, that we're going to see a $10,000 Ethereum. Now, I'm still going to stand by that. Okay, and I've started, believe it or not, I've started to unlock my staked ETH, my ETH2. I've started to unlock it, and I am moving it towards some exchanges that you're watching me on now. And the reason I'm moving it there is because I want to keep it liquid. And the reason I want to keep it liquid is I don't know when anything is going to spike on Ethereum, but it's going to happen. And I want to take advantage of that. And I can't do that if all of my locked ETH takes 60 days to get out. So I've started to unlock it now to move it to exchanges to actually keep it in a liquid form, like a liquid staking token. So that's what I'm going to start doing. But that doesn't mean I'm going to sell my Ethereum this month or next month. I'm getting everything ready. My Bitcoin will be ready by the end of this year. I'm going to make sure that none of my coins are locked in staking that lasts longer than 28 days. Okay? I'm doing it now before the end of the year, so I know as we go into next year, I am ready to sell. Okay? If you're going to go on holiday, as I've been telling you, you need to pack your bags. Okay? You're packing your bags and you're getting ready to go on your holiday, which is to the moon with your portfolio. At some point, your holiday comes to an end. And then you have to start thinking about how you get everything into your bag again, the souvenirs, the mementos. You then have to start thinking about packing your bags for the return journey. Now, I might be slightly OCD or whatever you want to call it and doing this a year in advance, but I'm just getting everything ready. And my plan is to get everything into a position where I can sell within 24 hours notice. That's the plan. So for Ethereum to hit $10,000, I am still on this page, okay? I was never on the $25,000 to $35,000 page. That's just simply too high right now. But I think 10 to 12,000 is a solid bet on Ethereum if we see Bitcoin going north of 160 to 180,000. That's a 3x for Bitcoin. Now, if Bitcoin can 3x from here, and Ethereum just copies Bitcoin, that puts us at 7,500. But Ethereum has a lower market cap and it should run after Bitcoin. So pushing it another $2,000, I think is not outside of the realms of possibility. So I think we could top out at 10,000. We topped out at 4,000 in the last bull run, 3,970 or something like that. So if we do that and we get to 9,700, 9,800, I am claiming moral victory that we got to 10,000 because I will find an exchange that has that. So if Ethereum does that, I will be happy. Now, bullish fractals, long-term technical patterns, and favorable macroeconomic trends could boost the price to 10,000 by 2025. Again, just remember these words: coulda, woulda, shoulda, could, would. Again, you've got to be careful. I'm telling you where I think it can go, okay? I'm not guaranteeing it. Nobody is. But based on the market moving to where I think it will go to, based on what happened last time, then I think we could get somewhere near $10,000. The first reason is the price fractal between January 23 and March 24. The 2023-2024 fractal saw ETH consolidate between 1,500 and 2,000 before going to 3.5. The current price closely follows this pattern. Yeah, it pretty much does. I've seen a lot of charts indicating the direction of a lot of coins, and we're at the point now where we could see scary moves in the charts. Okay, that doesn't mean we're going to $200,000 Bitcoin by the end of the year, but it means we should see the market move. Now, there are some monumental events coming up. Of course, in 5 weeks' time, we have the American election. If Trump wins, it's game on. If Kamala wins, it's game on, but a bit less game on, okay? Bitcoin is outside of political persuasion. We know that. But it can, of course, be affected by macro environmental effects. Look at the pandemic, tanked Bitcoin. So to say that it's not going to be affected, as some people have been saying, you know, Bitcoin doesn't care if it's Trump or Harris. No, it doesn't. But the Bitcoin price does. And that's what most of you care about. Of course, the Bitcoin price is going to go higher with Trump because he's a Republican. He's all about getting the economy going. He's all about making sure companies make money, employ more people. He's all about setting up the National Reserve, closing the borders. You know what Trump's about. It's more bullish for Bitcoin than Kamala. And yes, Bitcoin doesn't care, but the Bitcoin price does. The Ethereum price does as well. The second key catalyst is the long-term Fib retracement graph, exponential moving averages, and the RSI on the weekly chart. In the current setup, if ETH follows a similar trajectory, it could go to 7,000 and then 10,600. Again, 10,600 is a sensible target. I don't think, if you're listening to people telling you that Solana is going to $2,500, what's that from where we are now? It's not quite a 20x. Is it a 15x from where we are now? And you like the idea of that, then what's impossible to understand about a 4x for Ethereum? I think Solana will do well to get to $600 to $1,000 depending on the ETF. So that is still a 5 to 6x from here. So if we're expecting Solana to do a 5 to 6x, a 4x on Ethereum, it's got its ETF. We are flushing out the grayscale every week, and at some point it's going to turn around. And remember, there's 120 million Ethereum and not many more are being produced. Yes, it's gone inflationary, but not by huge amounts. And when the price runs, we're going to see a decent price for Ethereum. So the M2 money supply, again, the M2 money supply, everything is affecting that. China is starting to print money, 161 billion. America is going to turn the money printer on. The more money that swirls around, the higher the price of Bitcoin goes, and Bitcoin tries to have an equilibrium against that. So the M2 money supply is this. I imagine the Bitcoin price is in yellow. The M2 is the blue. You'll see that we've gone through a period of about 2 years of constriction, and that's high interest rates. The money print has been turned off. They've tried to slow the economy down. They're trying to, bring inflation down. Remember, inflation is good for a country, but it's not good for its citizens. Inflation erodes the debt of a country. So if you've got 20 or 30% inflation in your country, the value of the dollar goes down by 20 or 30%. The value of your debt in real terms goes down 20 or 30%. So what you should be doing when you look at the debt of a nation is you should look at it linked to inflation, and you'll see a totally different picture. So the money supply, the fractals, everything is pointing up for Ethereum. The one thing that I don't like about Ethereum right now, and I'd like it at some point in the near future to do, is when the graph loads. There. Okay. We are nowhere near the bull market support band. Nowhere near it. Okay? To get back up to the bull market support band, we need to be at 2,860. The top of the bull market support band is, drag that down to be online, $3,040. We're nowhere near it. We're 15% away. Bitcoin is here fighting like that, fighting the demons, okay? Ethereum went, I don't fancy that. I don't fancy that either, okay? That's where we are. I really need to redraw this, by the way, because it's an absolute mess. But you get the idea. Ethereum is not in the same boat as Bitcoin. Bitcoin is in positive territory. Ethereum isn't. And when I say Bitcoin is in positive territory, it's above the bull market support band, but it's a long way from putting in a higher high or breaking the lower high cycle. Ethereum hasn't been back at the bull market support band since July. That's 2 months ago. We were in this downward trajectory, which we followed for some time. Now, I have all of these lines up here, which is the targets, by the way, for Ethereum. We'll leave that one on the chart. So again, what do I expect? I would love to see, we'll just drag it along for now, shall we? It's roughly like that. I would love to see something from Ethereum to give me hope. Now, luckily, we have been sitting on top of this fib level, coming in at 2,300. The fib level's held us, and we're getting to the point now where we need to break up, because there is a pretty dismal price action going back to May. And again, we've done nothing. We've done nothing. We've been sad now for 3 or 4 months. So we need to kind of give Ethereum a push to the upside. But all is not lost. Again, when we're at $5,000 or $6,000, you'll all look back at these prices and say, why didn't I just buy it there and then? And I'd be right. You should be picking up Ethereum at $2,600. Anybody that calls Solana dead, anybody that calls Cardano dead, or XRP, or Ethereum dead, they have an ulterior motive. And that is probably because they want to pump the bags of the exchange, or not the exchange, sorry, of the blockchain that they are the maxis of. Just remember that. If somebody bashes a cryptocurrency, like we've seen BitBoy Crypto has been bashing Cardano, okay? And he's entitled to his opinion, but he's going after Cardano. If we look at some other influencers, they have gone after other blockchains. People have been going after XRP. People have been going after Solana. If you look at Crypto Crow, for example, he's gone after Solana. Why? Because he's a massive Cardano maxi. Why did Ben Armstrong, BitBoy Crypto, why did he go after Cardano? Because I think he had a set to with Charles Hoskinson. It's personal. I don't care about that. I don't care about schoolboy, school ground politics. Look at the facts. Look at the chains. We're going to look at the fees in a minute, okay? Numbers should be your best friend. Statistics should be your best friend. Learning how to do the charts, look at tokenomics. When we do review videos, what do we look at all the time? The tokenomics is the most important thing about a project. Then comes the statistics associated. How much money does it make? How many people use it? All of those things are more important than a man with a grey beard wanting to fight a man with a black beard and glasses, okay? It's ridiculous, and they need to grow up, okay? Now, October unlocks, we're not going to spend a lot of time on this because once I get onto the chain fees, there'll be 3.4 billion unlocks. Sui, Aptos, Celestia. Again, they're every month, a lot of these coins. You know, you shouldn't be shocked by some of them. So Token Unlocks has put this out. As you can see here, this month, September, not as much. $400 million has been released this month. But if you look at next month, you will see 1.8 billion. 1.6, sorry. So there's a lot of tokens to be unlocked. Sui will unlock 2.4% of its circulating supply. Think about that as inflation. It's not that bad, okay? As it got the rest of them. Immutable X will be releasing 2.02% of its circulating supply. Again, not so bad. 2.25% of Aptos is not too bad. Now, you've got to take these things as a collective. If it's 2% of the circulating supply every month, that is maybe 25, 26% of the total circulating supply compound over a year. If it's every 3 months, then compound it may be 8 to 10% of its circulating supply over a year. That's its inflation. That's the devaluing of your money, of your arbitrum, okay? When the dollar, traditionally the dollar's been printed at 7% of the circulating supply every year. 1 year won't make any difference, 2 or 3 won't make any difference. But 20, 30 years of 7% every year being printed, it's not 7% of the same amount of money, it's 7% compound. These inflationary tokens will inflate to the point where they reach max supply and then it won't happen again. But if you hold 1% of the total circulating supply of Arbitrum and they release 100% of their assets, you now own 0.5% of the circulating supply. So that's devalued your bags by 50%. Now, 2% here or there is not massive, okay? It's not. But over time, over a period of 3, 4, 5 years, it's going to make a massive dent in your bags. That's why it's never a bad idea to sell in a bull run and buy in the bear market. It's never a bad idea at all. Now, we are going to move on to look at chain fees. I do believe we have a dissenter in chat. XRP is dead. How dare you bluff City Breaks? How dare you say it's dead? You are, of course, perfectly entitled to your own opinion, and that's why we always read these comments out. You can believe XRP is dead. I can believe it's going to be a big project in the next 5 years. It's not it's not really a cryptocurrency project. It's a banking system, and it's got CBDCs. It's going to have its own stable coin. I've not even covered that today because I don't have enough information about it, but XRP stable coin, RB, was it RB or is it RLUSD, something like that? That's already being printed this weekend. Stable coins make money. They make so much money. And in fact, I couldn't have timed this better. Look at how much money is made in the last 24 hours. No, forget that. Look at the last 30 days. Tether's made $400 million in 30 days. Circle has made $124 million in the last 30 days. Okay? Number one and number two. Ripple and PayPal over time are both going to enter the top 10 or the top 20 of this chart. Ripple's going to make a fortune. Now, there is an argument to say, you know, Ripple's not quite there yet, and I agree. They're going to have a staking platform. They're going to have smart contracts. They're going to connect themselves to Ethereum. We know all that. It's not dead in my opinion, but again, you're absolutely entitled to your own opinion. I would bet money it doesn't even reach the last all-time high of $1.50. Do you know what? I will take you up on that bet, but I won't take you up on that bet until October the 10th. On October the 10th, I will decide if I agree with you or not, and I've screenshotted it. I don't know. I'll bet you 10 XRP. There's the bet. Right then, Peter, I had an argument with one person about Pepe with the joke, Pepe, I suggested to him mantra, and Aero will do more X's than Pepe. He called me a nut. You are probably going to be right. And the reason is, okay, so I watch a lot of other YouTubers to get my research. I can't go and look at every coin. There's like thousands of them. I'm one person. I have so many hours in the day. So occasionally I will watch Crypto Banter. I will watch Crypto Lifer. I'll watch Casper. I'll watch as many people as I can. And I will watch BitBoy Crypto. And what I found miraculous about BitBoy Crypto is he made a video today telling you about why you need to buy Brett and why you need to buy Aero on base. Okay? Now, I'm sure some of you remember the conversations we've had and the video I made about Brett and the video I made about Aero telling you exactly the same thing. And the problem is that he's probably going to be absolutely spot on with that one. He's probably going to be spot on about lots of things. But then comes the problem of having personal vendettas against people and saying that coins are trash and they're going to zero. That's not how you should run a channel, in my opinion. You should run it based on facts. And that's just the way it is. Not because you don't like somebody. The only person I do not talk about on this channel is Gavin Wood and his token. That's the only one. And there's a very good reason for that. What is wrong with these people with these rubbish meme coins? Again, that meme coins are a culture and they are driving adoption. I'm not a fan of meme coins. Like I've told you 100 times, I own a little bit of Bonk. I had Bohm until last week when I bought Pyth to show you how to do staking on Pyth, which I've not done yet. But again, it's just one of those things. They're a culture. I mean, I don't like 95% of music, including that crap they called mumble, but people like it. So if I was running a music channel, I'd have to talk about it. People love meme coins. I have to talk about meme coins. Simple as that. Now then, there's two things I want to show you on here. I've got 5 minutes to go through this. Do your own research. You hear it all the time. DeFi Llama, make it your friend. DeFi Llama is just a big database of information that they collate into tables. And there are lots of different ways to look down this. Now, I'm going to use base as an example in a minute. So first of all, ranking by fees and revenue. You will see Ethereum in third, Lido in fourth. Lido is liquid staking on Ethereum and lots of other things. But look at the money that Ethereum is making. $100 million a month being made by Ethereum. Now, some people say that Solana is an Ethereum killer, okay? Solana has $18 million in fees in the last 30 days. So it's a fifth of the revenue. So Ethereum could go out and employ $40 million a month worth of programmers and developers and builders and you name it, and they'd still be making $60 million a month in profit. Solana won't be able to do that. Okay? Now, I know that money isn't everything. I know that, and you can have better teams, better roadmaps, and I've said that Ethereum's roadmap is pretty crap and Solana's is pretty good. I get all of that. But Solana is known as a cheap transaction blockchain. It's never going to lose that. So what it has to do is it has to get mass adoption. So you're going to need 6 times as many people using Solana as there are today to get to the fees made by Ethereum. Okay? So when you look at Ethereum's dead in the water, it's rubbish, it doesn't do anything. It's making money. Jito sits kind of on top of Solana. It's kind of I'll do a video about Jito actually. Radium again sits on top of Solana. Tron is coming in, again a decent amount over here, 48 million in the last 30 days. But what I wanted to show you was this. This is the advanced section. So this allows you to click on, for example, Base. And this shows you the revenue that's generated by different blockchains. Now, I can't make it too small, but just to put it into context, let's make it a bit bigger now. Aerodrome is making $7 million a month in fees, okay? It's got a market cap of 751 million. And it's making 7 million a month, okay? It's really good. I'm going to try and not kind of profess my love for Aerodrome. Look at the projects making money on on Base. It's Aerodrome. There's nothing near it. Superchain, yes, a little bit. Half. But it's not Aerodrome. So if you're going to buy a project on a blockchain that you think is going to do well, you buy Aerodrome. Simple. You go to Polygon, which is a cheaper blockchain. You've got more options there. You've got Azuro, Uniswap, QuickSwap, not making the fees, by the way, that Base is, but Aerodrome is the only option directly on Base. You can swap with Uniswap and lots of other things, yes, but look at the fees. You can then go to Optimism, and you can see even less fees being made over there. So if you were to go to Optimism, Base, and Arbitrum, for example, and I was to pick some coins out of these blockchains to buy tokens based on them making revenue, I would be buying Uniswap and I would be buying Aerodrome. Why? Because in the next 12 months, as everything ramps up, as more and more transactions start to come in, retail comes back, people start to use blockchains more, what's going to make a big chunk of that revenue are the decentralized exchanges. Aerodrome is making $152,000 a day at the moment. In the bull run, maybe $400,000 or $500,000 or $600,000 a day in the bull run. And that does matter because they can afford to build new projects, new services, new tools. They can do all of that. We can go and have a look at, for example, Ethereum. Aave making $750,000 a day. Uniswap again, Maker $500,000 a day. Uniswap. These are the projects making money. And I've said this to you many, many times. We're actually running out of time, aren't we? I better stop. At some point, it's going to hit the fan. And a lot of projects are going to die because they run out of money. And you need to be backing the projects that make money. because they will still be around. Now, the argument could be, well, what's the point of having a decentralized exchange if all the projects have gone bust? Not all the projects are going to go bust. The likes of Uniswap exist on multiple chains. Smart Chain, Ethereum, Polygon, they're on multiple chains. So Uniswap is a surefire bet. Base isn't going to go anywhere now, is it? Base is not going to go anywhere. So Aerodrome is the number one dog on Base. Okay, it wasn't the case, you know, what's it old? It's about 18 months old now, isn't it? So it wasn't the case 2 years ago. You have to change your mind and you have to take on new information and base it on stats. And if you show me a project that's making $750,000 a month, or was it, sorry, $7.7 million a month, I'd be, well, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of staff. That's a lot of development. What do you think Aerodrome could do next? Well, it'd make perfect sense for them to become multi-chain. Why don't they go to Optimism and Arbitrum and Polygon and become a multi-chain DEX? It's written. Uniswap have done it. PancakeSwap have done it. WolfSwap have done it. It's on the cards. Now, 3 projects. Do I agree with any of these? And is this a sponsored article? What has been picked? Echelon Prime. I've seen a lot of people talking about Prime. Gaming tokens, no. I'm sorry. I'm never going to support gaming tokens in this bull run. I think, again, it's too early for them. If I was to pick a gaming token, I'd be looking at something like Gala because it's got established games. So for me, an Immutable X a little bit, but not Echelon Prime. Prime could do really well. Maybe there'll be a gaming element in there. Cello, on September 25th, Buterin applauded Cello for surpassing Tron in terms of stablecoin activity. This development implied improved user engagement on the Ethereum Layer 2 project. Apart from that, Grayscale added Cello to its list of altcoins. Cello's price rose 50% in less than 2 weeks. Now, again, the issue is it's telling you to buy tokens after they've already pumped. So you should probably have bought this token at 40 cents. That's what I would have done. So again, I wouldn't pick Cello. Now, Athea, Deepin, for me, is Emperor's New Clothes. It's existed for 40 years. Data centers have existed for 35 years, okay? Decentralized physical infrastructure network is a data center, and it can be used by AI for many things. Rendering, graphics, data processing, you name it. Decentralizing a blockchain, you name it. Everybody's now got this new keyword, Deepin. Oh, look how good this Deepin is. Come on, it's a data center. Let's not give it a stupid name. We've got enough with stupid names, don't you think, in this day and age? Let's very quickly check the messages. Now, I am streaming again at 1 o'clock. KB is late, do not worry. Aero will be a unicorn. I think it will do really well. Moonwell is making revenue monthly on Base in their lending borrowing. Moonwell, lots of big news about Moonwell. I've seen it mentioned about 5 or 6 times in the last few days. Last couple of months did 4 million in fees and 830 in revenue. That is very decent. Aero is my unicorn. Lucky I have loaded up. Aero's going to do really well. Mantra's going to do really well. You've got some really good coins, and I don't hold any of them. Again, I don't hold any of these coins I'm showing you here. I've gone through my portfolio. I've made a video about it. You all know what I hold if you watch that video. And if you don't, it's too late in the show for me to go through it now. However, I do think that Deepin as a narrative is going to do well. And because of that, again, I've picked some Deepin projects. I think there was IO. Was it IO that I did a review video about? That looks solid. They were an existing data center style business that moved into the blockchain. That's going to do very well. ICP, that everybody hates ICP, and the revenue ICP making is now the reason it's pumping. So ICP is going to do well. Athea is one of those names, you see it cropping up from time to time. It's AI with a bit extra. I think it's involved with gaming and a couple of other things. So again, out of these, the only one I'd pick is Ethia. I wouldn't be looking at Cello. Cello's been around for donkey's years, and I wouldn't be looking at Prime. Everybody talks about Prime to the point where I think people are being paid to talk about Prime. And I want to be the 13th man out of World War Z. I'm going to be the one that believes that there are zombies, where everybody else believes it's just an outbreak, okay? I think if every single crypto influencer is talking about a project at the same time, they are being paid. So I am never going to back a coin that's backed by everybody else, simply because I think it could possibly be a payment-related thing. Now that is the end, because I am going to have to go and do another stream. How far have we come down? We've come down to 63.6. What were my targets? Again, I think I had 2, didn't I? I had 61, and KB is late, so KB will have missed all of this. Let me very quickly check the prices. I've got a very short turnaround between this stream and the next stream, but just let me check where I wanted it to, what it's come down to. Right, okay, perfect. So I think we are going to come down to 60. Hang on a minute. I have got new glasses and they are better, but again, I have not got Hawkeye sight. 62.8 is my target, and I said that at 64. We're coming down. If we don't bounce off 62.8 and everybody starts to panic, then I think we'll come down to 61 and a bit. Let's move that up a little bit. 61.1, something like that. That's the next target for me. But remember, this isn't bad, by the way. This is not a bad thing. And again, just for KB, I do not think we have broken the. I don't think we've broken the lower high. I think that's not for me, that one. I think this is the one we need to look at. I think we've got to break 68,000 to get back above it. But anyway, I've got to go because I've got another stream starting in 50 minutes time. So thank you. Get some moonshine into me, I wish. Oh, Peter, I am 50 on Wednesday. I am 50 on Wednesday. So we're going to do a Tuesday night Chronos night stream. And I'm going to stream on Tuesday morning, but I don't think I'm streaming on Wednesday. I don't think the family would allow me to stream on my 50th birthday. So I think Wednesday I'm going to have that off. And hopefully between now and Thursday, when I speak to you next, I hope Liverpool suffer a horrible 5-0 loss. But I mean, what can I wish for? I think we beat you at cricket, didn't we? And then you beat us at cricket. Cricket's not going very well. Right then, thank you everybody. I will see you all, well, if you're back, I will see you all in an hour. Take care, and I've got to go and set up the next stream. See you in the morning.